Shalom, my name is Bright and I'm here to testify the goodness of the Lord concerning a job breakthrough that the Lord has given me. But before that, I would like to share something that led to this successful breakthrough. So one fateful evening, I had finished praying and seated in my chair, reflecting on the life of the patriarch that were able to walk with God faithfully. So whilst I was thinking about that, I asked myself this question: all these men were able to walk with God faithfully, and God had a covenant with them. So if God were to have a covenant with me, what is it going to be like? A couple of minutes later, I just heard "don't lie," and I didn't hear anything again. And this "don't lie" led to the job breakthrough. So at the beginning of the year, I've been looking for a job. So I spoke to one good friend of mine, and this friend of mine connected me to an agency. So I called the agency, spoke to them, and the HR asked me to send my CV over. On that very day, I had a response from the HR say that they've arranged me for an interview on this day, on this time. Then I accepted it. So I phoned that friend that linked me to the agency, and I informed this friend of mine. That's when a friend of mine informed me that with this agency, they only accept people that has been in the healthcare settings before, at least 3 months experience. And I haven't worked in a healthcare settings before. All my experiences are in the warehouse. So I was kind of, what am I going to do? So I called one friend of mine, and also who has been in that industry before, and this friend gave me one or two things that will help me to secure that job. So basically, I was preparing to go and lie over there. So when the time was due for my interview, so I went and the HR came. So the HR was going through the document that they asked me to submit and everything. So after everything, the HR said, "Have you been in this job setting before?" So when this question came to me like that, nearly I was about to lie because I had prepared to lie. And I just said, "No, I haven't." And the HR said, "We only allow people that have had 3 months working experience in this type of profession. And in your case, you haven't had. So what were your previous jobs?" And I just said, "I've been working in warehouse ever since that I moved to this country." And the HR said, "Okay, I'll give you the opportunity to interview, and after the interview, I will see what I can do." And by the grace of God, if some of the questions that the HR was asking me, she would just ask me to name, let's say, 3 or 4 things about something, and I'll just name 4, and the HR will add the rest, and I'll just name 2, and let's say 4, and I'll name 2, and the HR will add the rest. Sometimes 6, and the HR will add the other 3, kind of. So after the interview, whilst I was there, the HR asked me to wait, and the HR went out, and she came back, and she has brought another form for me to fill, and this form was my tax, everything. Then I had to apply for my tax code and everything. And this is what the Lord has done, and I am grateful to Jesus for such a blessing that he has given me. Thank you, Jesus.